Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the architectural philosophy that powers the huge Wix ecosystem. It's a really strict set of guidelines, but they're designed for massive scale. And there are lessons in here for anyone building complex software that's meant to last. Okay, let's start with a problem every single developer knows all too well. The dreaded big ball of mud. You know what I'm talking about. It's when a project just becomes this tangled, complex mess, and every time you try to change one little thing, you're terrified you might break something totally unexpected. It's slow, it's fragile, and man, it is the enemy of innovation. So when a platform grows to the size of something like Wix, how does it possibly avoid that fate? How do you make sure that thousands of different components can be built and updated and even totally replaced by different teams, or even by developers who don't work at Wix, without the entire system just grinding to a halt?
Wix tackles this problem head-on by, shifting the focus. Instead of getting lost in the weeds of implementation details, they decided the architecture shouldn't be built around code at all. It should be built around core, understandable business concepts.
So how do they actually achieve that organization? The whole system, and I mean the entire system, hinges on one core idea: the main entity. This is the foundational building block for every single service they have. So what even is an entity? The easiest way to think about it is as the main noun that a service is responsible for, right? So if you've got a service for e-commerce, its main entity is the product. If you have a scheduling app, its main entity is the booking. It is the absolute center of that service's universe. Okay, but this creates a whole new challenge. If you have thousands of these entities, and each one is living in its own little service, how do you create a reliable address book for all of them? How does one service know exactly how to find and talk to another in what's become this massive digital city? And the answer is actually something they borrowed from the internet itself, the FQDN, or Fully Qualified Domain Name. This acts as a permanent, unique, and importantly human-readable ID for every single entity in the entire Wix ecosystem. Now, this FQDN isn't just some random string of characters. It's like a super precise address, kind of like a postal code for a piece of business logic. It starts broad with Wix, then it narrows down to a business domain like stores. From there, it gets even more specific with a product in that domain, the API version, and finally, the singular resource itself, like product. It's a perfect map to exactly what you're looking for. And the system is strict for a very good reason. Consistency is absolutely everything here. Every single part has to be in lower snake case, and that final resource name, it has to be singular. And this isn't just, a style preference. It's a machine-readable contract. This level of discipline is what lets all the tools for documentation, code generation, and event routing just work reliably across the entire platform. And here is the absolute crucial point. An FQDN is permanent. Once you set it, you cannot change it, ever. Why? Because renaming it would create a catastrophic ripple effect. It would break everything: event handlers, webhooks, internal docs, third-party apps that depend on it. It's basically the digital equivalent of changing a major street name overnight without telling anyone. Total chaos. So this whole idea of a unique, permanent address for each and every entity leads us to the single most important architectural rule that holds this entire system together. The rule itself is so simple it's almost deceptive, but it's incredibly powerful. Each deployable piece of software, each microservice, should be responsible for one and only one main entity. On the left, you've got the classic monolith way, where services get all tangled up with hidden dependencies. And on the right, you've got the Wix way. By forcing this one entity per service rule, you prevent that tight coupling by design. The boundaries are crystal clear. APIs are forced to be reusable, and the whole system becomes open for others to build on. And this is a fundamental choice, a philosophical one. It's basically admitting that, hey, this approach might not be the absolute fastest way to ship a brand new feature on day one, but the goal isn't short-term speed, it's long-term velocity. It's about creating a stable, scalable platform that can evolve for years and years. So, why go through all this trouble? Why have such strict rules? It's because this architecture isn't just some technical exercise. It's the engine that's been specifically designed to achieve Wix's most critical business goals. These 4 goals are the why behind every single decision. The platform has to be open for third parties to build on. Its APIs have to be reusable in new and totally unexpected ways. It needs to let developers move fast over the long haul. And of course, it has to be resilient enough to support millions of businesses. And this is how it all connects. These small, focused services, each with its own clear, permanent FQDN, they become like Lego bricks. They can be snapped together to build new features, and this is the crucial part, third-party developers can create their own bricks that just swap in seamlessly. And that, right there, is the very definition of an open and extensible platform. So if you take just one thing away from all this, it should be this. These strict rules around entities and FQDNs, they aren't just arbitrary technical details. They are the carefully chosen foundation for a long-term strategy. It's a deliberate trade-off, and it's all designed to build a platform that can truly last.
And that kind of leaves us with a final thought to chew on. In an industry that is so often about moving fast and breaking things, is it possible that this kind of upfront architectural discipline is actually the real secret to building systems that don't just scale, but create entire new ecosystems of innovation?